Alrighty, so we are at the one and only Daikoku. If you guys know, all these rows get filled up with cars. And Mark IV Supra. But today's a Saturday. It's later in the afternoon, so not as many cars. There's a 32 over there right now. But I rolled in with these three. These are all FC's vert, but this vert's a little special. If this guy can get out the way for a second. But this front bumper, as well as the wheels, are Racing Beat. If you guys know Racing Beat, they're pretty famous for running Bonneville with an FC. He's on IMSA as well with the first gen RX-7s, I think, and they're really well known in the Mazda industry. This front bumper is known as the California front bumper, and there's not too many of these in existence, let alone this with these wheels. These wheels are insanely rare, and the owner, Asano-san over here, so he's had these wheels for about 10 years, and he actually found them over here in Japan, which is rare. These wheels were obviously Racing Beats in LA, so they don't really have stuff out here, so it's crazy that he was able to find a set of these out here. It's insane. He's the first owner of this car as well, so he's had this thing for 35 years. He's bought this new in 87, and then he bought this California nose in 89, 88. So the bumper's been on his car since practically new. So that's a 30-something-year-old bumper, 33, 34-year-old bumper at this point. So, I mean, this thing's properly done. It's got all the appropriate Racing Beat parts onto it. And then the inside, he actually relocated the HVAC. So the HVAC used to be up there, but now instead he relocated to the bottom in order to fit gauges. Those are Defi gauges, so this thing is done right. Engine's all stock. He rebuilt it about 3 years ago, but yeah, no, this thing's an absolute beauty. He's got このサイドステップはアルマジックですよね。So yeah, the side skirts are R-Magic. The rear spats are USDM rear spats, which I actually didn't really know about. And then the big money item right here is the Ganadors. Ganadors, as you guys know, are ridiculously expensive now for whatever reason, but this thing is perfect. So yeah, you got stock gauges there, and then boom, Defi gauges. So yeah, the HVAC panel had to be relocated to where a single den or the head unit would go, so he could fit the Defi gauges. And he said that plastic part on the outside came out of a Nissan no Machiでしたよね。Came out of a Nissan March. So who would have thought that would have come out of that car? But yeah, the cool tricks like that is the stuff you get to know once you've owned this car for 35 years. So 35 years, single owner. This is as good as it gets for a vert. It sits right. We'll get you a front angle as well. But boom, very, very rare. And then next to it is another crazy car. This is an Amemiya car. So everything from this is Tamon Design, which is a designer slash maker for Amemiya. Then he's got Amemiya mirrors, and then これもAmemiyaですか？これもAmemiyaですか？これは違うですよ。The wing's a little different, but generally speaking, this thing is Amemiya out. Asama-san here said he was pushing about 馬力は300 more than 300 horsepower. So this thing scoots. As you know, the Amemiyas came with the fixed headlights. Fixed headlights rather than the traditional stocks. So front bumpers change. The fenders have been changed. I think these are completely different fenders, or they just got vents put into them. The hood usually has a turbo vent in the front, like this one, because like WRXs, the intercooler sit up top. But I think what the owner did here was, yeah, I think he relocated the intercooler to the front and went with the hood that vents out the air outwards a little more, so it cools a little better. And then this is a perfect example of a nice, clean stock FC. We're running out of them in the US. I know that the US doesn't have too many clean FCs anymore, but these three are perfect examples. This is a perfect example of a racing beat car. This is personally one of my favorites. We have to see something this good. This thing is just perfect. And then this is a perfect Amemiya car. That's a perfect stock car. And then there's a gray one over there too, which is absurd. So this one is a track car, allegedly. So, as you can tell, the aero's a bit insane. Still has a top mount intercooler, seems like. But yeah, this thing's flared. You can tell there. Then the over fender's in the back. Got Ganadors again. Bucket seat in there. So yeah, this thing's business. Got this crazy wing on it as well. And then yeah, the exhaust protector, carbon piece on the bottom. This is a Kolke as well. You can tell by the tail lights. They're good looking tail lights. Although I gotta say that Zenki still looks pretty damn good. But yeah, this thing's insane. I mean, you can tell gauges in there. It's got gauges everywhere to monitor everything. So yeah, this front bumper is band speed. Never heard of them, but it's a pretty cool bumper. And got a headlight duct here too. I know a lot of Miata people do this, but I don't really see this on the FC, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool to see. So yeah, this thing has a bigger turbo. Intercooler's been relocated to the front. I think he said it's street ported at the moment, so it's making about 400 horsepower. So this thing is nuts. But yeah, so 400 horsepower. And he said if he bridge ports it, it allows him to make more horsepower. So if he does that, he can push up to 500. But he says with the way it is right now, it's perfect for street use and track use. He takes this primarily to Tsukuba, so a lot of people take it there. But yeah, so 400 horsepower. Jesus, that's a lot of horsepower. But I mean, he has Bridgestones front and rear. He's flared out, bucket seats, you know. So it's properly set up. Unfortunately, not too many crazy other cars here. There's a Soar over there. Saw a couple of aero-cooleds over there. There's a Civic, and I think it's onto the Mark IV back there, blue Civic Type R. But apparently it gets crazy on Sundays. So once I get my car, then we'll be out here more often, and probably later at night. But for now, enjoy these FCs, as you don't see too many, especially like the Amemiya or the Racing Beat ones. These two you don't really see in the States at all. So this is Japan for you guys. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one.